Hey everyone, welcome to Saturday Night Popcorn. This is Jason.
And this is Kai, and we have another great discussion for you today. The movie of the day is Crimson Peak from 2015. I guess a little bit older, but not super old. So I want to give everyone a spoiler warning.
And from who? Guillermo del Toro. Patty
Guillermo.
was excited. Like he's like one of like the prominent Mexican directors. There's a few
Yeah.
other ones that we've seen too, but
I didn't know the
he's
dude that directed Gravity. Sorry to just
no,
already derail us, but I didn't know the director of Gravity is also Mexican. And him
and
and Guillermo del
then
Toro are homies.
also the guy, I don't know if it's the same one, but the guy that directed Revenant with
Yeah.
yeah, so Patty, like we looked up Guillermo del Toro because like my family is from Guadalajara
Mhm.
in Mexico, and she's from Mexico City. And so she was like, "Well, like all the people are like from where you're from and everything." Like, and then so she looked up like all the Mexico City directors, and the one that
Mhm.
directed Revenant and all that stuff. But but yeah, this is. I think this initially comes off as I don't know why. Like you can see Del Toro's like mind with this.
Yeah, with the set, the clothing, and just like the vibe of it, especially when that ghost first appears.
Yeah, right.
That felt very Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, and no matter what, I wrote down like the sets are
Oh, we're crazy.
beautifully made and
Yeah.
everything. Everything looks like handmade. I don't know, it looks like it was made
Even
back then.
yeah, even the dilapidated stuff was just like, is that
I couldn't
really
imagine
dilapidated,
like
or did they
like
did they
I'm
make something and then just etch it out? Like,
Nah,
this
I
looks
can
too
only
good.
imagine like walking around. You're like, I'm gonna fall through the the floor.
Is this structurally sound? Is this okay for me to use?
But this one, all right, this is a different. No matter what, like you feel Del Toro's like imagination and
Hmm.
vision with this, but this one is a a different. Like I kind of remember like his like Pan's
Pan's Labyrinth.
Labyrinth,
That's the one you got me on.
Hellboy.
Yeah.
I like because you can really see
You're
like
immersed in a world. Like this one, and I'm guessing this is the same idea you had, was like this felt like him but also didn't. It felt like he was trying to fit into a box of like, here's the script, here's the idea. He might have wrote it. He
he
might have
did
wrote it.
actually.
Okay. But it just didn't feel like the typical Guillermo where you're like immersed in this world of aliens or monsters intermixed with people, even though they were
Yeah,
ghosts.
yeah, and it's like most of it was Ghost. He did write
Yeah.
this, and Patty looked up like some of like the intro scene where like the ghost is first appearing to the main
Hmm.
character. That is kind of like taken from a story that his mother gave him in
Oh
Mexico and
wow.
stuff. And so like his mother believed that like oh she saw her grandmother kind of come back to her in the home and also lay in bed with her. And
That
so
would be
it's
some
like
scary
yeah, I know, right?
stuff. Like I would have been like, I'm done. Just
Yeah, like let me
no,
just
I'm done.
let me move out.
Yeah. Emancipating myself. Goodbye.
But that's what's cool about the Toro too is that he does a lot of movies, but he also kind of integrates a lot of his like his own
Yeah.
history. And Patty even looked up too, where it's like since he was 11, he had this like enamored kind of like interest in the paranormal.
Mm.
So it's like even since like 11, that's pretty
That's
amazing.
yeah.
And
I like
so
so I like those aspects of the movie, like the interactions with the ghost and then the interaction with, I guess, yeah, just the ghost, like the mother and then the lady that was murdered in the home. I enjoyed those aspects of the movie, but there were moments where I was like, all right, this kind of feels like it's dragging on.
and I don't know if it's because of the story. Like it's
It
because
probably
of
is, yeah.
because I was like I wrote down it's like it I really don't care for these like Bridgerton style
Hmm.
stories.
And
And
that
I
might have
don't
been why I
know,
wasn't feeling it either.
probably it's the
Yeah.
Victorian era like does well for like costume design,
Oh yeah.
just the whole like gothic feel I think too because you can kind of integrate both of those things.
Yeah.
But the whole like story of like I was like, it's just Bridgerton. Like I've seen Bridgerton, like Patty's
Bridgerton
watched it
with
and stuff.
ghosts.
Yeah, and so it's like I don't mind it. It's just like
Yeah,
it's not
it's not my
my
go-to.
cup of tea, you know.
Yeah. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one that felt that way about like this. Like we said, the sets, the costume design, even the interactions with the ghosts were great, but just everything else in there, I was just like, all right, I don't really care. It's just happening. Great. It's pushing the story along, but it's not really doing anything for me.
Yeah, because you can look at like his set designs are amazing, and
Oh yeah,
also that adds to the cinematography because he has like those long kind of like drawn out shots where it's like
those
it's
freaking hallway
looking
scenes.
through the
Just
hall. Yeah, right.
yeah,
Like
and it's like, oh, something's gonna come out, and it
I
just
think
eases out. It's like, all right, cool.
there's one shot where like she's kind of at the end where she's like on the wheelchair and stuff, and then like
Mhm.
it opens up to this hallway with like this arch with like a bunch of spikes, and she's in the middle of it.
Yeah,
And so like I think no matter what his set design and his like costume design add to the cinematography
yeah,
that kind of comes into this, and he does a lot of good shots too where it's like where it kind of adds to that, but it's the story I think that kind of like
yeah.
degrades it.
Is it me? Because you've seen Sons of Anarchy, right?
Yeah, I've been
It,
watching it lately.
is it me or does Charlie Hunnam's accent seem fake?
Wait,
Like his
what is he? Is he
Jax.
American or
No, he's British.
he's British?
Yeah, but his British accent doesn't seem real. Like his Jax Teller voice seems like, oh, yes, this is how this man speaks on a day to day. And then you hear his British accent. It's like, why are you doing the British accent? You're Jax Teller.
He's probably like oh man, like I have to actually talk the way
Like, how do they want me to sound?
like like that's got to be difficult because it's like you spend so much time kind of like creating this like Americanized like
A version of
language for
yourself.
yourself,
Yeah.
version of yourself, and then you're like, all right, like now
Go back to
speak
normal.
back to normal
Yeah.
per se and stuff, and it's like, well, like I just learned like years and years of like
But the thing is, like, you see so many other actors and actresses that are, I can't say easily, but they're able to switch. Like,
Mm,
I know for the longest
Bale,
time, yeah, exactly. Christian Bale, Idris Elba, like people thought Idris Elba was from Baltimore when he was on The Wire, and then he came
right?
out with this British accent, and people are like, wait a minute, um, what is that man's name? Franklin Saint. I always forget that man's name, but it's very similar to Idris Elba. But the man who plays Franklin Saint in Snowfall, same thing. Like he had to learn from Dub C, famous rapper, how to have an LA accent, but he can switch. And you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, I wonder if it's like there's got to be this like weird like you understand like this is like a character and stuff,
Yeah,
and so but like not everyone's like Daniel Day Lewis where he can speak
true. Just
as
like,
like Lincoln for like months on end and everything.
and then go right back to Daniel.
Yeah, and then go back to normal like
Oh, it's Damson Idris is
Damson
Franklin Saint.
Idris,
Yeah,
but but this is like we see some fairly like notable people in this movie. So we have
yeah,
Tom Hiddleston, who
yep.
we all know is Loki,
Loki,
and I think
Jessica
does well in this movie.
Chastain.
He's you can tell like the reason why he was like either chosen for Loki because of this, or
Yeah,
just kind of in the same mix as like Marvel was like, oh, we need someone, and this kind of like came into mind and all that, and he. I think he does very well in this.
yeah,
Jessica
he fit this character
Chastain,
perfect. Yeah, Jessica Chastain.
Jessica
She did well.
Chastain,
Hmm.
and then the dude from Sons of Anarchy and
Yeah,
everything.
Charlie Hunnam. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who the main character is. I've never seen
Of
the
what?
main girl.
Oh, yeah, I haven't either. For some reason, she every time I saw her, I thought she was someone else, like this other actress that looked similar to her.
Right when it
Oh, I kept
started,
thinking
I
she was
thought
Lily James.
Lily
I don't know if you've
James.
seen the Pam and Tommy TV show,
Oh
but
no,
she's in that, and then she's in Baby Driver. Every time, like I would see the main actress, I was like, "Is that?" I'm like, "Oh no, it's not." Like, oops.
no. When it started, I saw Jessica Chastain's name come up on the credits, and I
Yeah,
was like, "Is that
that's
her?" Like
Jessica
she looks.
Chastain. Like, where's the red hair?
In terms of like, let me ask you this: when
Hmm.
you started to learn about the brother and sister, basically,
Oh, hell.
uh, Did you
The
what
husband and wife.
basically? What'd you think they were? Like, did you think that they
I thought they were
were?
vampires.
That's what we thought too.
Yeah, I thought they were vampires.
Yeah, and I was like, man, this is gonna be like a vampire thing. Like when she found out that he's been married multiple times, I was like,
Yeah,
how long has that been? Like, is he like been alive forever and everything?
yeah. Even when they were looking through the photo album, it's like, okay, he's been alive for 1,000 years. He's a vampire for sure.
Right, and you expect it because it's like
Yeah.
like Halloween time and like
Hmm.
spookiness and stuff, and you're like, oh, these are
The
totally.
house was just dog shit. This big hole in the ceiling
Yeah, I'm
through the
like,
floor.
this.
Like
He's the
vampires live
one
here.
vampire that got poor and everything
Yeah,
during,
like
during his time. like, like you
you should have
fucked up.
created Facebook, bro. What are you doing? Like,
But that's it. That's exactly what Patty and I were like. We were
yeah,
like, these people are vampires, but then you find out that
yeah,
they're just people, and they
yeah.
just
It's like
are
what?
murderers basically, and incestuous people.
That's some
Um,
creepy stuff. Yeah.
but it's like more so. I think the story is that basically like they only had each other, and so
Hmm.
like love and stuff can
So they
like
had to get married.
grow from that. But
How did you feel about when the main character shut the door? She saw the ghost at the hallway, and then she
mm,
shuts the door. I hated that scene because it's
the
like
one
it's
that
a
the
ghost. When the ghost just walks through the closed door.
oh that one okay.
Yeah, when she assumed like, oh, if I close the door, the ghost can't get through. I was so angry. Like I was so mad. Like it's a ghost, and you shut the door.
it's gotta work. Come on.
It didn't make it. No, because then it like broke through the door, and all this darkness came through, and it's like, what were you expecting?
What'd you think about the horror? Like, did you believe that this was like was it scary?
They had one moment that had like the whole jump scare element where they amp up the volume and
Hmm.
they do like the dun dun. They had one of those. The rest of it, I thought it was going to be scarier because it feels like Guillermo del Toro's films are
Was
typically more scary than this. This one, it seemed like they eased you into it. Like this was a nice film for someone that's not really into horror but wants to see a horror film. Because like even when they first revealed the ghost, I was like, oh, they're about to have this thing turn the corner and just run to this woman. And it was
yeah.
like, no, let's just ease you into it. So I was cool with it, but for someone that's looking for like a legitimate horror film that's gonna scare them, this isn't the one.
That too. I think that's what kind of like fell short for me, where it's like
Hmm.
yeah, you look for a certain thing with Del Toro's movies and stuff, and you expect a certain like level of it,
Yeah,
but it wasn't scary to me, and I was like, all
mm-mm.
right, well, like, and it wasn't. It was kind of suspenseful, like you can tell it was kind of building to something,
Yeah,
but then it built to something that like,
just
okay,
fell short. Yeah, it
yeah,
was just like, all right, cool.
yeah. So I don't know. And to another thing with Del Toro's movies, a lot of times you see that Del Toro uses like practical effects. Like
Hmm.
Hellboy
This was a
comes to
lot of
mind because
CGI.
like
Yeah,
yeah, Hellboy, the guy that plays Hellboy, like
yeah, in a
is
suit.
fully in makeup, has all this stuff on, and he's very, I believe like Del Toro's like very mechanical and very
Yeah,
practical. Where
very
like
old school, like the Tarantino's and the Christopher Nolan's. Like, I want to actually do this on set and not have to rely on somebody on a computer later.
yeah, and I think this one kind of like fell too much to CGI, where
Hmm.
it's hard because it's like you're doing like a ghost thing, so it's like you kind of
The
want to
ghosts
have
look
that.
great though. I'll give him
They
that.
did actually, and from 2015, like
Yeah.
it's still like we seen like we always say we see some Marvel
Mm,
movies nowadays that
hmm.
still look like crap.
The Flash, Black Adam. Yeah, those didn't work. But yeah, this looked
But
great.
yeah, it looked good and everything. Like you can still have this like the style of Del Toro, but I
Yeah,
think no matter what, we've kind of already said like what we didn't like of the movie, but like
yeah.
it's really the story and basically it builds up to something that you're like, okay, that's fine with me.
Was there anything? I guess this is something we don't typically ask, but is there anything that you like if you directed it or if you were co-director with Guillermo del Toro? Is there anything that you would have said, "Hey, let's amp up this," or "Hey, let's remove this to make this film better"?
I no matter what, I think it's a weird thing to put in.
Hmm.
is like the the relationship between the
Oh yeah,
yeah, like I
Loki
didn't
and
need that,
Jessica
but
Chastain.
yeah, so it's like I didn't need that, but I think just adding more of like the tension
Hmm.
from the ghosts and stuff, having more of like I think in total there's like what, three ghosts that we experience basically? Four if you
Yeah.
count the baby.
Oh
But
yeah, Forward Baby. But yeah, it's
yeah.
like, well, until Tom Hiddleston becomes,
Yeah,
you're including him as a ghost.
well, so
You got
you
the
have
one
the
that got
mother
hit.
in the beginning, the
Hmm.
actual lady's mother,
We got the
and
one that
then
climbed out the floor and chased her.
that was the other mother that was
Yeah,
killed.
and that's
And
the
then
same one that
the
got chopped in the head, right?
yeah, I think that's like Tom Hiddleston's like actual mother, the one that
Mother.
they were
Okay, so
complaining
that's
about.
three, and then
And
Tom
then
Hiddleston's four.
Tom Hiddleston, and then technically we see the sister at the end where it's
Oh
like she's playing
yeah,
the piano.
so it's like
Um,
five.
yeah, so it's like it's not so much, but I think I would amp up more of the kind of the
The
horror
tension. Yeah,
suspense. Yeah, you?
I think the same. I would rely more on the horror more so than the story of who this non-vampire vampire looking man is.
Yeah. Or actually, it just kind of came to mind. Like you have this whole story named Crimson Peak, and the
Mm,
place that they live at is considered
Crimson.
Crimson Peak.
Yeah.
So I guess adding more kind of a character, you have a lot of character in the house,
Hmm.
but having it where like it's like a labyrinth or something, or like
Yeah.
it like has
That's
its
what I
own
was waiting
mind.
for. Yeah, because
Yeah,
even when Jessica Chastain was like, "Hey, don't you don't have a key yet because you need to figure out this house," but they didn't really dive into that. They were just like, "Okay, this house is creepy. You need to watch out," and then she just backs away, and that was it. So if they would have dove into that, like her actually searching the house and getting freaked out in all these rooms and the whole labyrinth of the home would have
yeah,
been great.
like a House on Haunting Hill. Even though House on Haunting Hill kind of sucked,
Exactly. Yeah.
but like
But if
something
they
like
dove
that.
into that, yeah. Like all these ghosts live in this home and they're not here to scare you. They've lived here type of thing.
Yeah, like they're trapped. What's
Hmm.
that one show on Netflix?
That's the haunting on
The House on
something
Blight Hill or
house.
something. Yeah, or
That
Blight Hill
one
House.
and yeah, something on what other it's always a
Yeah, one of
hill and a
them.
house. Like
Yeah,
I
there
think it
you
was
go.
Hill House, haunting on Hill House. There we go. Hills and houses. Ooh, scary.
But okay,
Yeah,
what?
that would have been cool.
Yeah, I think kind of more of that stuff and
Yeah.
everything, or like, but you do definitely get a Del Toro feeling to this. But this is
Yeah.
not
Like
the
an
best Del
overarching.
Toro
No,
out there.
no.
Yeah.
Not even close.
In terms of recommending this, would you recommend it, and who would you recommend it to?
I think, like what I said before, I would recommend it to someone that is looking for a horror film that's not scary. Like, hey, it's Halloween. I just want to see something that's kind of spooky, but isn't gonna keep me up at night. I would recommend this to one of those people.
I would probably recommend it anybody that says like, "Oh, I've seen Bridgerton. I love Bridgerton." Oh, yeah.
Do you like Bridgerton with ghosts?
Yeah. Hey, maybe those individuals that like just for some reason have an interest in the Victorian era, which is
Hmm.
no matter what, it's a cool era and it adds to the Gothic feel.
That's true.
But other than that, I don't know. Like even if you're like looking for like a scary, like an entry level scary movie, I think you have some other ones that you can choose from.
Yeah, I
And in
was
terms
thinking
of
about that. Yeah, because you can do
yeah,
the Invitation that we watched. Ready or Not is kind of horror-ish, but it's not very scary. So yeah, there's plenty of other films.
yeah, and I'm guessing this kind of answers our question of like, do would
Hmm.
we buy this for our personal movie collection?
No, no,
I'm
I'm
assuming if
skipping this
like
one.
if you have like a Del Toro kind of like section in your like collection,
Just
then
leave a
you
gap.
kind of have to.
You
You
just
have like
leave
a
a
little
gap,
like
like not
a
this
little square of like little paper that you have in this.
one. This one wasn't good enough to add to the collection.
I was glad that I didn't have to pay for this. It was on
Oh
Netflix.
yeah, that's
So
true. That is very true.
yeah,
Oh,
so
that
that's
that was a struggle to find. I don't know if I was just zoned out, but I went on Netflix because I think I went on IMDb first to find like where it's streaming. So I said Netflix, went to Netflix, and I typed out the entire Crimson Word and was like, where is this movie? And it was like right in my face, and I was like, okay, well, guess I wasn't paying attention.
I think I have the same issue because like the cover that they show doesn't actually too
Yeah,
like it's just Tom Hiddleston.
yeah. And I'm like, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for some horror looking stuff. I thought that was a Loki poster. I was like, this isn't it. What is this?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it was an interesting movie. There's some parts where like yeah, you say like it intrigues you, but then you get kind of bored of some of
Yeah,
the stuff. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all
I'm
we can
skipping
say
it.
about Del Toro.
Yeah. What'd you end up rating it? I was struggling figuring out a rating for it.
I was fairly confident in my like 2.5. I gave it a 2.5,
Hmm.
and so
I'm on
I
the
was
same
like
boat actually.
because it's not like I enjoy Hellboy a lot,
Hmm.
and I think that's because of the story, the environment that he creates and stuff, and the character. I kind of want to watch Hellboy today, just for some reason, but
Just to get a palate cleanser.
yeah, but yeah, I ended up like I was like, man, this is like maybe like a 2, but I was like 2.5. I
Yeah,
seem fairly satisfied with that.
that was my same take. Like I didn't even put a rating on Letterboxd yet, but I was like, man, how do I like? It's not terrible, but it's not amazing. So yeah, 2.5 is where I landed.
And I think Letterbox has it at like a 3.3, so
So we're not far
I
off.
guess there you can see like no matter what, it's like it's more like what your flavor is and stuff.
Yeah,
So like
because some
I
people
think
think this is a 5.
people are gonna watch this because they like Del Toro,
Hmm.
and people are gonna like watch this because they like the Victorian era. But if you're going in there looking for like a certain thing, this can fall short.
Yeah, I completely agree on that.
It was fun times, no matter
Yeah,
what.
we watched it. Like,
Yeah.
hopefully we don't mess ourselves up like we have been the last few months and
Right?
watch the
Like the
best
first
movie
one's
at the
like the good one.
beginning. Yeah, and then the rest of the month is just like, why did we choose these?
I don't
So
know.
we'll
I'm so
see.
excited. We have a good one at the end of the month. I'm like really excited, but
That's
also
true.
if it falls short, I'm be very pissed off.
Well, it's actually going to get you out the house though, so that's all that
No, it's
matters.
not. It's on Peacock.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Oh
Yeah, it's
my
on one of those
goodness.
streaming services. I forget. Yeah. I don't need to get out of the
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was going to be
house.
at theaters only. My bad. Never mind. I thought it just was going to be the one that got you out the house, but
Yeah,
I was
no. No. But yeah, you want to take us out, Kai?
Yeah, thanks for joining us for another episode of Saturday Night Popcorn. I'm Kai.
And I'm Jason, and we'll be back next week for another one. And please remember to subscribe and like our video.